All right, welcome back, everybody. Live on location here at Inform.com, WDAY Plus. Our coverage from Bison Media Day continues. The offense got all the love during Hot Mic. We want to make sure the defense gets its appropriate equal time. As we're joined by NDSU defensive coordinator Grant Olson. We've done this as a tradition. It sounds like, by the way, a little production meeting that we're going to have Gio join us weekly through the season. I don't know if you're mentally prepared for that. I mean, we do it periodically. I might get old after a week. Every week we're doing this, man.
Well, we'll find something good to talk about, I'm sure. But no, it'll be fun. I'm excited for it. You know, it's funny. You guys are going to be catching me right at a good time, and if we're still able to do it on Thursdays of just the process. And it's funny, just especially now after coordinating for a couple of years, I got a really good idea of how I operate. It's like get in crazy early on Thursday morning, and I lock myself in my door and all that stuff. So I'll have some answers for you. Don't worry.
How'd the summer go? Just you have a chance to get away for a little bit?
I did. Yeah. Summer was good. You know, it's fun. We're at the point right now, especially with our little girls, of like really starting to enjoy swimming and enjoying the lake and whatnot. So that's been a lot of fun.
Was this a shorter summer, knowing just the challenges ahead, or were you able to get away for the normal amount of time that you guys have in the past?
Oh man, that's a great question. Probably a little bit of both. I would say that someone that I'm very good at is like putting the phone away and being present. And truly, like that's a skill that you got to practice and you got to because it's easy to be on the phone every single day with other coaches, always asking a question about this or that. And anyway, so owe that to the family to always be able to do. But it was a good summer.
Can I date you? That's 13 years since you graduated. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it is.
2013, that was your senior season. When I think about that, that's just is crazy to me of that long ago. But how often do you catch yourself, and I know I'm guilty of this because I post all that stuff on Twitter, but thinking, man, that was fun. It doesn't seem that long ago, but it was.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I probably, in some ways, I think more back to 2019, 2021 and whatnot. Like, we're installing a coverage for the day, just even in fall camp, and I'm starting talking about Jackson Hankey or Jabril Cox or James Kaiser or somebody, and it's like, these guys have no clue who they are because they've never met them. But I'm like, you're going to know the Bison greats. If you play in this defense, you're going to know the Bison greats. I'm going to point out Derek Tusk on film making a great play. I'm going to point out Marquise Bridges making a great play. So anyway, that's where all of a sudden I'm looking up there and I'm like, oh my goodness, that was 8 years ago.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that Marquise was back to address the team. How big was that? How cool was that?
Man, it was awesome. I think he gave such a great message, and two, of just a guy that had a ton of success, but then also a guy that's like, you know what, guys, if I would have bought in a little bit sooner and I would have listened a little bit better as a young player, and just acknowledging he didn't have a perfect career. Well, I think it's funny. I think you look back and I think you ask most everybody, very few people had perfect careers. Showed up day one and were starters and All-Americans. That's hard to do.
Billy Turner's the only one I can think of, and he was a freak.
Yeah, absolutely. But, even all of our quarterbacks that have been drafted, every one of them redshirted. So, anyway, I like telling that, especially to recruits, of just I want to play early and things like that. Like, hey, you know what? Sometimes growing and developing, there's nothing wrong with that. And to be able to tell freshmen that while they're going through the hard times of fall camp, I think is really powerful. He did an awesome job.
So, we're a week plus into camp. What have you seen so far out of your defense?
Well, I've seen a lot of guys going and making plays. It's interesting. At times we're playing really high. We're playing really athletic, and we know what we're doing, and we're flying around and we're making plays. And then all of a sudden, the next minute, all of a sudden, we're miscommunicating. We don't have the right guy in the right gap, and we're giving up explosive plays. So for every big play we've made, we've probably also missed a play here or there too. And that just comes back to just continuing to hone in on just let's do our job. If Bison defense, if 11 guys do their job, my experience has been we're going to be really, really good. And we've got a lot of new guys, and we're getting better every single day. But that's our biggest challenge right now. We're going to keep cleaning up the MAs, and I think that's the challenge every year, but specifically this year with a lot of new starters that we're going to have. So anyway, I'm really pleased, but we've definitely also got some playmakers. You talk about the D tackles up front, you talk about Donovan Woolen, you talk about Darius. Those are some big-time playmakers, and I'm really liking what our defensive ends are doing as well.
I got to ask here, tomorrow's scrimmage, how big a deal is that for you in your mind? It's okay, time to start making decisions on either if this is going to be our rotation or who's going to play a lot this year.
Yeah, absolutely huge. So right now we've got some really good position battles going on, not only for starters, but also who's going to be the backup, who's going to rotate in. So live reps are always going to get counted way more important than just a practice rep, just because what do you do when the lights are actually on? Do you make the tackle or not? Because we're in a period where you run the quarterback down and you tag off in the hip. Well, could you have actually tackled Nathan Hayes or Preston Brown, who's a great athlete? I mean, shoot, he's gotten away from us a handful of times. He's so darn fast. So anyway, these reps are going to be critical. I'm really excited. If you had to say, give me two position positions to really watch in the scrimmage, I'm going to be really watching the linebackers. Okay, what does everybody not named Donovan Woolen do? He's been proven. What does everybody else do? And then what are our corners going to do? Those are the positions that I think we're really looking forward to see. But don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to seeing the young defensive tackles and the younger safeties and whatnot. So I'm excited for everybody, but those are probably the two I'm going to focus the most on.
Corner, obviously, there were two guys that added for spring ball. Chance Tucker came in after spring. What have you seen out of the cornerback spot? Say, okay, because you got to find two new starters at that spot.
Absolutely. I think right now we're definitely seeing some guys that are athletic, guys that are really highly competitive. We've made some simple mistakes just because we don't have enough reps under our belt. So we're doing a great job. And Coach Amoko's an awesome coach, and Coach Williams is back there helping and coaching those guys. But we're continuing to work on, okay, how can we simplify things, and then what do these guys do well? I think that's one of the other things when we talk about, okay, are you game planning so-and-so, are you game planning so-and-so? Well, it's hard to do that when you aren't sure on who your starters are and what exactly your starters do the best. So we're going to still always operate our bread and butter. There's certain things we aren't going to change about this defense, but game to game, depending on who's in and whatnot, we could be looking different, and that's okay.
When you look at the skill guys, especially a wide receiver, how much does that jump out and say, all right, this is going to be different coverage-wise for your corners than what they've had to do in the past?
You know what's interesting? I think that one of the misconceptions is, yes, there's going to be a little bit more speed in and week out, without a doubt. But I also like telling guys, I'm like, listen, we had to cover Bryce Lance all last year. We've had to cover Christian Watson on our own team. And then there's the Missouri Valley has had some fantastic wide receivers. When you talk to a guy like a Will Johnson, who was at Oklahoma and USC, he told me all the time last year, and now he's with the Vikings, he tells me all the time, and I agree with it, the biggest difference is O-line to D-line as far as the high level goes. Well, I'm going to say that, and I'm going to say we got a really good O-line and D-line. So I think we have a chance to come in and step in and compete. There's Division II and III wide receivers that have made it to the NFL way more regularly than D2 or D3 O-linemen, and that just shows you that everybody can find a good wide receiver. There's a lot of guys that can run and catch. So anyway, that's not meant to insult any one person. That's just a comparison of why are the Big Ten and the SEC better than everybody else. Well, typically it's the depth and the experience and the talent and the O-line, D-line. So I really like our O-line, D-line, and I think they're going to give us a shot to win football games.
Guy I watched in practice at corner, Marion Moore, I thought he flashed last year. Has he done that again so far?
Without a doubt. Yes, he has. He's an interesting body. I don't know, he's 190, 195 pounds. We typically don't have that thick of corners. So just even setting edges and blitzing and different things, we've been doing that for years. We'll blitz our corners and whatnot. But anyway, that's been really impressive. There's just a little bit of extra oomph when he hits somebody.
Linebacker is always I bug you about because you coach that position, you played that position. You mentioned Donovan Woolen back. Keith Williams came here, obviously in January out of Cornell, went through spring ball. Gavin Sell's a name you've been talking to me about for the better part of a year and a half. That now expected to get more reps. Oliver Luck's back there. Obviously Ray James hopefully healthy this season. Peder Haugo, Alex Elliott. Are these the names we need to know?
Those are the names. Those are the 7 names right now. And those guys are in a great competition. And I can easily see a situation where we play Air Force. It might be the 3 biggest guys we got. And we play Hawaii. It might be a completely different set of 3.
Guys you got?
It might be that. And that's okay. I think that's one of the beauties of having depth. Now, especially with some of the elevation games, we've talked defensively that you better be too deep. You better have guys that know what they're doing, and they better be too deep, because that's going to be something different. We are going to be really deep. We are going to know what we're doing. We're going to be able to fly around, and we're going to hit you. And if we ever have to simplify some of our schemes because of some new guys or whatever, that's okay. But we are going to do those things. We're going to play hard, and we're going to know what we're doing, and we're going to hit you.
See, that's so different, Grant, than last year. You had 3 guys.
Completely different.
Staley played, Woolen played, and Logan Cobb had been here for 28 years played. That's not that's not going to be the case, though, in 2026.
No, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit more like what it was maybe in 2022. We lost a couple starters. 2024, we rotated. It's interesting. I know it's funny. I know I was criticized at one point, like, oh, you don't have the same Mike linebacker in every play. Well, we won a national championship doing that. It worked. If you got good football players in that know what they're doing, and part of it, too, I do like having a guy that's got a role. If he plays 10 snaps a game on 3rd down because he's the best blitzer and man-to-man cover guy we got, now all of a sudden that guy's a little bit more bought in, and he's going to keep working. And all of a sudden, I think that the team and the defense were healthier. You're not getting so worn down, and a guy's got a role, and he takes pride and ownership in that. And when I've seen that happen in our defense and on our team, that makes us a better football team.
So would you anticipate middle linebacker may look similar to what 24 was Kubitz and Wirtz rotating. You could see that again.
I could easily see that again.
Okay.
I could easily see that again, and don't be surprised. I'm like, Donovan has played all three right now, partly just to make sure that other guys are getting more reps. Okay, I really want to evaluate the Sam linebackers today. Donovan, you're not going to play Sam linebacker today. I really want to evaluate the Mikes. They're going to get a ton of reps. So I'm moving guys around to create depth, not necessarily different combinations, but one of the benefits is getting to see different combinations as well. So it's going to be, I think, a little bit by committee at times. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be a really big defining moment of who's really going to step up. We got a lot of live in, thankfully. Who actually makes the plays?
D-end, what stood out to you there?
Oh man, good question. We've been doing, I think, a couple different blitzes that we probably haven't done before. So if you're a film junkie and you paid attention, be like, wow, I've never seen the defense run that blitz before, or do that scheme, or different things like that. And I can't tell you what they are, okay? But I've been but I've been really pleased with our defensive ends of picking up some of that new stuff of different twists and stunts and movements and whatnot. But right now, you look at a guy like Anthony Oakes. When people run the ball at Anthony Oakes, good luck, okay? When he's involved in the run game, he's a big physical dude. And, I mean, he's 260-some pounds. But in the same breath, I've also been really pleased with some of our speed rush. I think we've got good offensive tackles. Kelton McCaslin is 12 pounds heavier than he's ever been, and he's still got a really good speed rush. I'm really pleased with Sten Broughton and Victor Isele. Those guys are good football players. So we've taken a step forward in that room as an entire room this offseason for sure. And I'm looking forward. I want to be able to cut those guys loose. Ideally, right, the Bison defense for a long time has been play coverage and let the D-line go to work. Well, we've got talent. We can go do that. I really believe it.
I'm interested, Grant, from your time, obviously, at Wyoming. I know the Mountain West looks different from when you were there to where it is now, but is there any nuggets you could take? Okay, we're going to need to know this going into the new league.
Man, good question. I think some of the biggest things, sometimes what's going to throw us off the most is going to be new travel and new locations and what to expect. Getting back at 4 in the morning, sometimes those are going to be some of the bigger challenges than anything. It's funny, I know everybody wants to talk about the Missouri Valley so many times, like you get in this ground and pound mentality. Well, if you look at even NDSU played with 3 wide receivers a lot last year. We've been practicing that for a long time. So anyway, I think sometimes people forget that the league, our old league, has changed as well. And I know we're in the Mountain West and we're going to get some more air raid and things like that, but we had to play that in the playoffs. So there's going to be a little bit less schematical adjustment than I think what people are anticipating. And especially because, our offense, we have a tremendous amount of speed at the wide receiver position. So I think our offense prepares us like nobody for everything that we've possibly got to see, especially with the amount of schemes that they run. So anyway, I think we're going to be really good there. As far as other things go, I think honestly one of the biggest challenges is probably going to be altitude. Just we typically haven't had to play that. So that might be a legitimate challenge. I'll never forget being out at Wyoming, and it was my first week on the job, and I think I called my parents to say goodnight, and I was walking up a flight of stairs, and I was winded. Well, that's new for some people. So anyway, that's going to be okay. We're going to be just fine. We're a deep football team, and we're going to rotate, and if a guy gets tired, get the next guy in and keep playing. I think we're going to be okay.
When you look at just adjusting to that, when you've watched on tape, what stands out from these teams offensively? This is going to be different than what we've seen before. Is there anything that pops out?
I don't want to say that there's too much. I mean, certainly it's different logos and different uniforms. And overall, if you're saying is the Mountain West more talented top to bottom than the Missouri Valley, I'm going to say yes, it is. That's why we wanted to play FBS football. We wanted to challenge ourselves and compete against the best. So I'm going to tell you that, yes, the best teams are every bit as good as the best teams that we've seen, and they probably are a little bit better. And we're going to really be in some tight football games, and that's okay. I'm excited. I want to be tied up in the fourth quarter and it's a 2-minute drive and the defense gets a pick and gets the offense back on the field. I want those situations.
You have a pretty good memory bank of Bison quarterbacks. Where's Nathan Hayes' arm compared to the guys you've seen either play with or coached with here?
Oh, man, that's a great question. I would say of everybody that I've been around now, man, it'd be hard not to put him top 3 or top 4, and I'm including Josh Allen in that for the record. Now, I don't know if anybody's going to ever top Josh Allen. It's one of those, he's going to be kind of that guy.
All right.
Yeah, pretty dang good, right? But then you start thinking about maybe a Carson, or you start thinking about a Cole or a Trey or whoever's in that mix. I got to think that he's up in that upper echelon. He can really wing it.
What have you seen out of camp trying to defend that over the last week and a half?
Well, he just throws the ball into some tight coverages where you're sitting there and Coach Polistek's like, well, why aren't we getting a PBU here? Why aren't we this? Why aren't we that? I'm like, Coach, it's a pretty dang good throw, man. I'm not making an excuse, but let's give the quarterback and the receiver pretty good credit. I mean, there was an incredible play to Reese on one, and there was a great one to Jackson, just a couple that I'm thinking about where it's like, hey guys, honestly, great coverage. And if the quarterback and wide receiver are that good, well, let's make them do it 10 times in a row. And if they're really that good, we'll be ready to make some adjustments. But anyway, I think that's one of the fun parts about going against great quarterbacks. They really challenge you.
Who's the top quarterback you ever played?
Ever played? Oh man, I'm just thinking through to some different guys. It's hard not to say the guys on your own team. Just looking back on it, it's really hard to say those guys, especially between Brock and Carson and whatnot. Truly had to play. Man, I'm just thinking through the different years right now. I'm kind of Rolodex. And do you have anybody that will stick out from those years? I think of running backs.
Running back, totally.
I mean,
totally
we played against a ton of NFL running backs. I can remember that position a little easier. A handful of NFL tight ends.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know.
I'm thinking the FBS games you played. Kansas State's quarterback was.
Yeah, it was good.
It was okay.
And they were all good. They were all good.
Minnesota, Marquise Gray was okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any NFL guys that I can remember that we went against.
Crockett Gilmore played at Colorado State. He was a dude.
Yeah,
he was a tight end. He was a guy.
He was really good. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's hard to think of them because they weren't NFL guys, and you don't get that reputation. I know there are plenty of good ones though, but none stick out like our guys because of the NFL success.
Terrence West stands out. Towson.
Yeah, he stands out big time.
Shakir Bell stands out.
Yep, absolutely.
Those are the ones that stand out to me.
Those stand out.
And the Breitenstein kid from Wofford.
Breitenstein was really good. He was really good. Well, don't forget about Jarrett McKinnon.
McKinnon was okay,
you can't forget about Jarrett McKinnon.
All right.
Well, shoot, I know we still talk about. They brought in Wilcox, and Wilcox played safety for the Cowboys. They brought him in to play running back, and we didn't tackle him. So anyway, we still talk about that. So anyway, that's
give Marcus a hard time on that. He can tackle him in that game.
So anyway, just even that, oh my goodness.
Good dudes
there were some great ones there.
Thanks for coming by as always.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to doing Thursdays with you on Hot Mic. All right, it'll be fun.
That'll be a good time.
Grant Olson joining us here on our live stream. We're going to take a quick break. Taylen Eady's going to join us. We roll on here from Bison Media Day. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Here is our live stream continues from Bison Media Day, joined by NDSU safety Taylen Eady, ready for big 2026. Had the streak, I think, 3 straight games with a pick to end 2025. I'll talk defense in a second here. Everybody, I think, remembers your older bro, how good a basketball player is. When's the last time you still hoop it up?
No, he's done now. He's in the job working for us now. He's in the work.
Well, he went overseas and played. How about you? When's the last time you've hooped it up? Anytime recently?
I try to do it in the summer a little bit, but summer workouts was getting me.
Was basketball ever something you considered?
I was more of a hockey guy growing up because I grew up in Wisconsin and everything like that. And I didn't want to be like my brother, so I wanted to do something different.
Well, tell us about just this past year. You know, we talked last year on seeing where I'm going to fit in. Obviously, you kept playing more. How much did your confidence go up as the season went along last year?
Honestly, my confidence went up a lot. Trusting what the coaches are setting you up to do and the coaching and all the work that you put in. The more you trust yourself, the more you can make those big plays, and I found that out towards the end of the season.
What was you're just making those, especially having 3 straight games with a pick. I mean, your confidence level had to be sky high at the end of last season, right?
Yeah, it definitely was up there.
What about it? Did the game slow down to you? What stood out to say, okay, I know what I'm doing out there now defensively?
Honestly, just getting your eyes right before the play. A lot of film study throughout the week, getting extra film in. So honestly, just expecting what's going to happen and jumping there and being ready.
I look at your position, the safety room, everybody's back. How much does that, especially have a guy like Darius out there to lead you guys? Jalen's played a ton of football. Yourselves played. Will Stiles played a lot of football. How much does that help to make this leap up in the Mountain West?
It definitely helps a lot. We push each other. We help coach each other. We hold ourselves to a high standard. I think our room holds each other to a really high standard, and it's only going to push us forward, only going to make us better.
I have not talked to you since the move went down. So what was your reaction knowing, okay, I wasn't recruited for this, now we're going to be playing in the Mountain West?
Honestly, I think everyone on our team is able to play in this level, and I think this jump is something that should have happened a long time ago, and thanks for all the players in the past. They've made it possible for us, but my reaction, I was just happy. I found out through my friends, and it's kind of one of those things where you don't think it's true, but then we had the team meeting and we were ecstatic. Then
it clicked. Okay, this is reality now.
This is what we're doing now.
Have you had a chance to watch any of the other teams? Like, okay, skill-wise, what kind of wide receivers, what kind of tight ends, running backs you're going to face on a weekly basis?
In the summer, we had a lot of access to the game, so trying to watch the game, get a head start of what we're going to see, but definitely more speed, on the perimeter and stuff like that. I think the DBs are going to get tested a lot this year, so we got to step up to the plate.
I also, and Grant Olson was telling us that, you just went up against Bryce Lance, drafted in the 4th round in the NFL.
Yeah.
Chris Harris, pretty darn good. Raja Nelson, I mean, you were going up against that on a daily basis.
Right.
How much that get you ready for what's to come?
That definitely helps. It helps you build up your confidence.
Yeah.
Like, I'm playing against someone who was on the Saints when I was 18 years old and stuff like that. So taking that confidence against going those guys is going to set us up to this jump.
Did you ever beat him in practice? Bryce, that is?
Bryce,
you hit him a couple of times or no?
If you asked me when I was 18, I would probably say yes, but now I probably lost a lot of those reps.
But just describe that as seeing a guy go off and have that kind of success. How big a deal is that for you guys to
it's
see?
amazing.
And now watching videos of training camp, he's going out there and balling with the Saints right now.
It's amazing. He's a good personal guy.
Yes.
He shows you what type of work you have to put in to get to that level. So taking that in, digesting all of that, and then hopefully bring it into my own game.
What's your own expectations now? We talked about your confidence level. Describe now, like, I've done it, I've applied it, now I want to do it even better in 2026.
I want to start the season with the confidence that I ended the season with, for sure. I want to be a leader, make sure the defense plays as one unit, running to the ball, flying to the ball, and being physical, being the most physical defense in the country.
Look, tell me, scrimmages tomorrow, and I was visiting some other guys about this. How much is that a barometer to say, okay, this is where we're at defensively? We're still a couple weeks before the first game.
Honestly, I think everyone should be flying to the ball. That's going to be a good test to see if everyone wants to fly to the ball. And then obviously physicality, we don't get to hit much in the summer, like to the ground, honestly.
Yes.
So really just throwing your body around, getting guys to the ground, and making them feel our pain.
You've gone up against Nathan Hayes for a couple of years now. What do we don't know about your quarterback that we're going to see in a couple of weeks?
Oh, man. I mean, I think everyone knows he has arm talent.
Yeah.
Everyone knows he can throw the ball really far, but I think he really trusts himself in the play calls and making checks and stuff like that and calling out blitzes and stuff like that. He's really smart. He's a really smart quarterback.
What was the reaction, I guess, for people, your family, friends around, say, her and NDSU is making this move? Like, what would you hear about this and knowing the competition level is going to be different going forward?
Everyone's been texting my phone when we made the joke, talking about, give me some tickets and stuff like that, trying to go to the games. But
sure, for the road games,
yeah,
right?
I say for the road games, they want to go to Hawaii and the Vegases and stuff like that. But, I mean, just a lot of support and a lot of people that put a lot of trust and work into me, honestly. Just happy to see that we made the jump.
I've asked a few guys, I haven't asked you, have you had a chance to play the video game? Is your likeness, because Jackson Williams said it wasn't even close. Is yours way off too?
I mean, I had Twist at the time, so now I have Twist in the game and I have an afro right now, but I love the game. It's fun. It's cool seeing yourself in the game and stuff like that.
How big a deal is, like, I'm old, so I haven't played a video game in a while, but if you grew up with it, to say, okay, let alone you're in it, but North Dakota State is in the game. How big a deal is that?
It's amazing, honestly. Like, I think it's fun for everyone in Fargo to play with the Bison and stuff. You don't have to create a team. It's just right there, and you can do all the jersey combos. I mean, it's awesome.
It's a big deal for people your age. This is a huge deal, right?
It's amazing.
You got some tournaments going on? Has that happened during the summer when the game came out, or no?
I mean, I personally wasn't in any tournaments. I'm not the best player anymore. I stopped playing the game. But Ray James,
he's the dude?
He's the dude.
Okay, that's good to know. We're going to give Ray a call on that one back. When you look at how, just from a 180,000-foot view, how good can this defense, Taylen, be in 2026 in your mind?
I think we could be amazing. Like I said, if we all click, play together, and then do play hard, play fast, play together, which is our mission statement and stuff like that. Honestly, I just think we could be one of the best defenses in the conference.
Is there a couple guys we don't know that maybe we should know come the season starts or even middle part of the season?
Every transfer has stepped up to the plate, honestly. They bought in really quick, which is what you have to do to be successful in this program. And then, honestly, Jerron Russell has been making a lot of plays in the summer.
Big kid, flies out there.
Yeah, he does. It's amazing. Having confidence as a freshman,
big deal. It's great to see you, man. Thanks for doing this. Be healthy and good luck this year, all right?
Thank you.
Taylen Eady joining us, NDSU sophomore safety, ready for a big 2026. Back, Gavin Sell, Victor Isele going to join us. We roll on here from Bison Media Day on Inform.com and WDAY Plus right after this. There we go. Welcome back, everybody. Our live stream continues here from Bison Media Day. Please be joined by defensive end Victor Isele. Joins us as gets set for the 2026 season. It's already been a big year for Vic. You got married. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
Tell us about that and the planning and everything. How'd it go?
I got married to the most beautiful, greatest, loving, caring woman in Fargo, North Dakota, in the world, honestly, in the world. It went great. It was a very busy summer. She worked her tail off. Her and her family planned a bunch of things. They did great. Worked football, obviously, so very busy summer, but very, very grateful.
So what was, did you have any planning responsibilities, or did she have all that? You just showed up?
She had more of the planning. For the most part, I just showed up, but there was some times where she was like, do you like this, or do you not like it? It's like, I like it. Or like, choose a color, so.
Yep.
But for the most part, she had 99.9%. I had 0.1.
Were you nervous?
I was very nervous. I was nervous. I went on like 3 walks beforehand, just like praying, just trying to like clear my mind. I was nervous. Yeah.
How much of the team was able to come? Did you invite?
So kind of how we did it was really just a small wedding.
Yeah.
So it was just like family, counselors, kind of those people, and then later, like after the football season, we'll throw a huge reception.
Nice.
Invite everybody. Dom's invited too. So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, all everybody. So.
What was that, just to have that level of commitment?
Yes, sir.
Because, I mean, that's a big deal for a guy your age.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about being ready to do that and make that jump.
I truly think that it wasn't football itself that helped me get there. I think it was the men and football that helped me get there. So just like connections, meeting different men, just having conversations with them about Coach B always says to mature early, mature early. Race to maturity, so something he says too. So just really having good conversations with certain men about life and lifestyles and what type of man that I want to be and become. And just like aiming for that, which helped me become a better football player, a better man, a better worker, so everything overall.
Apparently you started a trend here because Trey Drake just got engaged last week with Avery Coonan. I know Alex Elliott's getting married. He's continuing the Bison trend of getting married during the bye week. So this is, you started a trend here.
I'm glad to be the first one to grab the torch. So yes, sir. So we'll see.
Should we talk some football here?
Let's do it.
All right, well, tell me about the first week and a half of fall camp, how it's gone.
It's been great. It's been intense. It's been good. It's been fun. I think the defense overall, like we're all connecting really well. We're all running to the ball really hard. Swarm defense, so it's been amazing.
You made a number change.
I did make a number change.
Is this a number it means something to you? Going to number 0?
No, not at all. It just looks cool. Number 0. Yeah, that's really about it.
Yeah.
So,
you know, we talked in the spring about knowing, hey, there's a chance here to play more, reps could come more, and how excited you were for that challenge. Describe now here, the football season's here, you had a chance to play a little bit last year of playing more and contributing more this fall.
Yes, sir. I think it'll be great. I think, I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for it. It's something that we practice for, that I practice for, so whatever comes, I'm ready for, essentially, yeah.
When you have a chance to play more, how much, is that necessarily pressure, but excitement level, or maybe a little bit of both of, there's more resposibility on my shoulders this fall?
I would say before it was more pressure, but now that we practice over and over again, then I feel more confident. I'm knowing what I'm doing in my calls and all that stuff. Now I think it's just more confidence, more fun.
When you see this defensive end room, tell us about what you see. Obviously with Toby moving on, what stands out like we can be pretty good in 2026?
I think we can be pretty great in 2026. We have a bunch of guys who just fit the program very, very well. Like, everyone's not the same. You got some guys who's better at run blocking, some guys better at pass rushing, some guys who better. Just everyone's different, but it all fits into one scheme and one defense. And I think it'll be great.
The amount of time you got to play last year, how much did that help your own confidence for this season?
It helped a lot. It helped a lot. Just knowing like what, I guess, game tempo and true game speed looks like, and what to expect versus kind of going out there kind of cold. So it's helped a bunch. It's been great.
I was visiting with Grant Olson before you came on. Scrimmages tomorrow. Expectation-wise for that, okay, it's a chance to really go out and show the coaches, hey, I deserve to play more this fall.
Yes, sir. It's a great opportunity. To me, my mindset should stay calm. It's another practice, work hard. I do this every single day. So.
Now, you're a married guy. I can't imagine you have time for video games because that's obviously the big thing.
Yeah,
have you heard about that? Have you heard about you in the video game yet?
Yeah, no, I have heard about that. I do not have time for video games. I haven't had time for that. Just been building stuff at the home, building dressers or the bad frames, whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, you are, man. You are a married man. You're doing that stuff.
After this, I'm going home. I'm going to build our bedroom dresser. So.
Good luck. You asked for advice. That I will say good luck with. After doing that stuff, man, that's harder than anything you're going to do out here. I'll tell you that. But and serious though, you've made that. Does that make this not necessarily playtime, but that is real? This is I always call the toy department.
Yeah, I think it gives me just a bigger perspective on life.
Yeah.
And I think it's so easy, like especially in fall camp, you're so focused on football, getting my first step right, like the playbook wise, but I think it actually gives me a chance to actually like relax a little bit and be like, life is so much bigger than this. Okay, I missed a tackle, but so what? I get to go back home to my amazing wife, and she made me a nice meal or something. I get to just relax. So I think it actually takes a lot of pressure off of me, just being like, okay, football, obviously I love it. So it's an important sport. It's good. It's a fun sport. But it's not the top thing. It's not the number one thing. So.
How does a bigger role, more experience, a leadership role suit you? Now people are looking up to you because you've been here for 4 years.
Absolutely. I've been here for 4 years, and especially when I got married, everyone's calling me Unc now and asking me for advice. I think it fits me well. I'm really I'm more the type of guy to like lead by example, and I'm not going to tell you to do something that I'm not doing personally. So that's kind of what my role is.
When you see there are a couple guys, Vic, we don't know yet defensively that maybe we will know by the end of the year, any names pop out that have impressed you so far during camp?
Yeah, I would say I think Alante Burley's doing great things in the past rush-wise, so I think he'll do great. Yeah, shout out Alante. I think he'll do great. I think he'll do great things this season also. So.
How excited are you for this competition level to be up as well? This is a new level of what you faced before.
Yeah, this is awesome. I think the whole entire team is excited. There's no fear in any of us. We're all excited for this. It's not even a challenge. For us, it's just an opportunity to prove ourselves, to show ourselves. So that's how we're all looking at it.
It's great to see you. Congratulations
on
your married man. Great to see you.
Sir.
Be well, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
Victor Isele joining us here, Bison defensive end. We'll break much more in our live show here on WDAY Plus and Inform.com right after this.
Awesome.
Welcome back, everybody, here on Bison Media Day on WDAY Plus and Inform.com. We roll on. Please be joined by redshirt freshman. I don't know if I can say redshirt freshman. There are no redshirt freshmen anymore. Sophomore linebacker Gavin Sell joins us. He still has 4 years of eligibility. It's great to see you, man. We were just visiting off camera about this time last year, true freshman and thrown in. Then you got hurt. Just tell me how different fall camp feels this time opposed to last year.
Last year it almost felt like I was just going through the motions, just trying to get through it. But this year it's just like locking in on your keys. I mean, you got a lot of jobs and assignments to do. I mean, a lot to think about, but like also the workload that you dream of, that you want. So I'm really just excited for this year, and I feel like I've been working, and I'd say that's really it.
You got to play at the end of last year. I know maybe not as much as you wanted to, but you got out there. How much has that experience helped for going forward now for this year?
It actually meant the world to me. Just seeing how the Bison operate, seeing how everybody does stuff. I mean, it meant the world to me. I mean, there's not much else you can ask for. I feel like I was in the perfect position. Put me in for 2 games. I mean, I got to see what it's like to be a college football player for the first time. So, I mean, I was really excited.
What was it like running out there on special teams for the first time?
Wow. That playoff game against Illinois State, I mean, sad how it lost. I mean, devastated about that. But the work that you put in pays off. And I'm really just excited to see what happens this year. And running out, blocking people, I mean, that's all I was meant for last year, but I'm hoping it changes this year.
Coach Olson has told me your name has come up constantly when I'm talking about linebacker. What does that mean, knowing that he has high expectations for you and you have maybe a potential to start this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about starting right now. I feel like the linebacker room is just the tightest it's ever been, and I'm so excited about that. But I feel like me and Coach Olson have a lot in common, and I feel like he's preached that to me. But I feel like we're the 2 most competitive people on the field, and I feel like it really shows. So I'd say that's really it.
How much does that help on the field, that competitive attitude to have out there to go out there and
That's
perform?
huge. And even that your coach is also competitive, I mean, you know what to do in those moments. You know, like, when to be smart and when to be, all right, I'm going to go hit you right now. You know what I'm saying?
How much have you tried not to put too much pressure on yourself through the first 8 or 9 practice, knowing more eyes are on you to say, you know, perform well, you're going to play?
I mean, yeah, I feel like I've had a lot of pressure on me. Coming in, I feel like I'm still just a young guy, but I feel like I need to step up. And Coach Balsack talks about erased maturity.
Yeah.
And I feel like I really took that to heart. And ever since I came in, I feel like I've just been trying to mature, trying to follow these older dudes. I feel like I've handled the pressure pretty well.
When you look at Gavin last year, I was talking with Gio about this. Basically, 3 guys played linebacker. That's not going to be the case. How different is the room knowing each of you guys bring a little bit something different when you're out there on the field?
I feel like that helps a lot. I feel like schematically, I mean, teams have to prepare for 6 other dudes, and I feel like all of us know that we all can play, we all could be starters, but we all bring something else to the table, and I feel like that's really just connected us throughout the fall camp, also the summer as well.
I know I had you on my show when you committed. Can you tell people your recruiting story? You came up here and basically that was that, right?
I was really under recruited in high school. I was like, is football really my thing? I was like, all right. Came to camp here my freshman and sophomore year as a wide receiver. I was like, all right, I'm not getting recruited. And then Coach Olson came in March to watch me work out. He's like, all right, I'm going to invite you to camp. I'm like, okay, still no offer, all right. So I came to camp, and the fun fact is my first Indy, I went to the wide receiver group. And the recruiting coordinator at the time came, grabbed me, brought me over to Dakota Field, and guess who's waiting for me? Coach Balsack.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you doing? You should be over here the whole time. I'm like, okay. So I did my first rep, and he's like, that's the best rep I've seen all day. I was like, okay, the summer relief, like. So really just being under recruited, I feel like that has helped a lot and motivated me. So I'd say just that.
How much, Gavin, has it helped the amount of Wisconsin guys that are up here? Is that not necessarily, you're not super far from home, but the fact that there's over 30 guys in the state of Wisconsin help that on that fact?
The Wisconsin guys are really close, and it also helps that the head coach is a Wisconsin guy as well. So just us really being connected. I feel like we all just mix really well. There's not really much else you can say about it, but just Wisconsin brings the fire, I'll say that.
When you look at the move to the Mountain West, granted you've only played the 1 year, but now the certainly the competition level is going to be different than what you're used to.
For sure.
Tell me your excitement level or just interest level. Like, okay, this is going to be way different in preparing.
Yeah, the first thing I thought of is it's the real deal. It's time to step up. It's time to mature. And really just looking up to guys like number 1 over there, Donnie. He's been through it, so I look up to him a lot, and he knows what to do, what not to do. So just really looking up to guys, trying to help them, help me. So there's not much else you can say there, but just looking up to number 1 over there.
All right, I've been asking. I'm an old guy here. I don't play video games. Is that a thing? How big a deal was that for you when the NDSU was in the college football game?
I got 2 little cousins, and to tell them that I was in a video game, just seeing their excitement on their face, that really meant something to me. It really hit me in the heart to just say, all right, I'm in a video game now. Like, this is insane. Is this real life? Like,
is it accurate for you or way off?
I think it's way off, but I'm still just a young guy, and I haven't done really anything for this program yet. So I got a lot to prove and a lot to mature. So
I would ask you that as well. For your class, there's going to be way more expected this year. How much does that bond you guys knowing, okay, we came in with some pretty high expectations. Now it's time to deliver on that.
Yeah. Our class is, I'd say, one of the closest classes here, but some people could tell me wrong, but really just working with those guys and who's gonna play. So really just connecting with those guys in the off season. Me and Marion, we're both from Wisconsin. I'd say me and him are really close. And even in practices, I've seen him mess up. I'm like, all right, 10 push-ups on the sideline, let's go. It's our time to step up, time to mature. And he does the same thing for me. It's really just that bond.
I'm interested, Gavin, going against this offense on a day-to-day basis. What is that like? And knowing facing the quarterback that you're facing in Nathan Hayes, how much does that prep you for what's to come?
Yeah,
as well?
I'd say props to Dan Larson as well. I don't know if you know, but he's from my hometown as well. But he draws up great schemes. I mean, going against guys like Caden Zenzen, Kocat. I mean, going against
Kessel,
those guys,
I don't know how you stop that guy.
Going against those guys every day, I feel like has really prepped me. And then also Hayes' preparation, I feel like is also it's hard going against those guys every day. So
last thing, this is real important here. Number change. Is this the number you always wore? And how big is that to go number 3?
I'd say it's huge, but I still got to earn this. Me and Coach Olson talk about it a lot. He said, I'm going to put a 6 in front of that number if you don't perform. So I'm like, all right, we got some pressure on me.
Because single digits are the dudes, right? That normally goes with it, right?
So I feel like I still got to earn this number, but I wore 83 in high school my freshman year, and then I was 3 all throughout. And so 3 has also stuck with me since my youth. So I just say I got to earn this still.
Okay.
So I got a lot of work to do still.
It's great to see you. Thanks so much for coming by.
Really
Be healthy.
appreciate you,
Good
Dom.
luck this
Yes,
year,
sir.
all right?
Thank you.
Gavin Sell joining us here, Bison, sophomore linebacker. We'll take one last break. One more guest to come. We'll wrap things up here from Bison Media Day right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're wrapping things up at Bison Media Day here on our stream on WDAY Plus, Inforum.com with the pride of Fargo North, linebacker Peder Haugo joins us. First off, the last time I saw you, you were caddying.
Yeah,
out the Red Ram. Give us the backstory on that.
Yeah, so I live with Sean Moore. He's one of my roommates, and I don't think he had anybody up in town. I mean, his family's from Arizona, so his parents obviously couldn't make it up for the tournament. He was like, "Hey, do you want to carry my bag around for the weekend?" I was like, "Sure." So carried the bag around for him, and I felt like I was playing some pretty good golf, and I think that Monday I went out and I played around, and I had a quick reality check pretty soon. I think right off the first tee I had a little slice. I was
so
like,
does that count to tell Coach Olson you got your workout in because you were caddying in pretty good heat for 3 straight days?
Yeah, it was hot. I think probably had 20,000 steps
you got
a
your
day.
steps
so
in,
I
no doubt
definitely
about
did.
that.
Yeah.
Was golf something you entertained? Because you played a ton of sports, I know, in high school.
No, I love golf.
Yeah.
It's a good pastime just to play with the friends and family, and I've been getting better over the last couple of years. So
there you go. So I can remember a couple years ago being here at fall camp and seeing you run around at a couple of positions. Obviously, ended up being running back in 2024. Now full-fledged linebacker. Mm-hmm. How much different does this feel as opposed to even the last year where you were still trying to figure out linebacker again?
Yeah. No, it's a much different feel. Just having like a complete year under my belt and getting a whole year to learn behind Logan and Nathaniel, which are obviously two great players, and new opportunities this year, which is exciting. There's a lot of unproven guys in the room, and there's a lot of spots and packages and different situations that are out there for the taking. So it's really exciting.
Well, we just had Gavin join us here, another guy who's right in that mix as well.
Yeah.
You mentioned it, there was basically 3 guys that played linebacker last year. That's not going to be the case this season. How exciting is that for there are reps out there to be earned?
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's super exciting to get to cheer on your teammates too, and get to see their strengths and how they play off of you. It's a cool experience. It's also hard sometimes when maybe you had a bad practice and they had a great practice, but you just got to remember it's a team sport, and I'd rather have a win in the calm than a great set.
I know last year too you got dinged up during fall camp. How much do you feel that stunted things, that slowed things down for you?
No, it definitely hindered me a little bit. I think I was out maybe 2 weeks of good practice, and I was wearing the knee brace all year, which I felt like hindered me a little bit. So it wasn't ideal, but at the same time, it gave me more time to reflect and really pay attention to how Logan operates and learn behind him.
You got in last year. You got your first career pick.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was pretty insane. I think the ball was just tipped up and I saw it in the air. I was like, shoot, I'm going to go grab it. So that was pretty exciting. And, I wish I would have been able to get my touchdown back, because I know freshman year I had a few runs.
Touchdown call back, yes.
I had a few runs that, I thought I should have been in the end zone. So it was cool to, finally have a big stat on the board.
Do the defensive guys still give you a hard time about your running back still?
Oh, yeah. Coach Olson always gives me a tough time, when we're watching the film and maybe one of the big O guys makes not a great play, or maybe he's being a little soft on the play. He's like, "Hey, these are your friends, Peter," or he'll make some comment like that, which is always a good time.
What about this defense stands out, Peter, that we could be pretty good in 2026? What do you think about it?
Yeah, we're really fast this year. We have a lot of D-backs who are out there flying around. I know DJ's, man, I think he's hitting 21, 22 miles an hour. Darius is obviously a guy who has his head on straight and knows where the ball is going. So I think you just expect a ton of guys who are just flying to the football and playing fast and playing for each other.
I know when you committed, we talked about the level of football, specifically in the city of Fargo, yourself playing, Oliver's playing. You got a bunch of guys here from just the city limits that are contributing. How big a deal is that for you?
Yeah, it's a really big deal. Growing up, there weren't a ton of Fargo players that were playing. I think Ty Brooks was probably obviously the most prominent guy, but it's awesome to see Reese stepping up, making big plays. Ollie and I getting some bigger roles this year, and it means a lot to have some hometown kids, representing for NDSU.
So South doesn't play the big level, but is there still trash talking between the South Davies and North guy going on?
100%. We just had a little camera out in front of practice the other day, and Dudzik had us shout out your hometown high school, and we were all in it together, kind of chirping each other. So it definitely the high school blood goes back. So
you had the biggest of highs. You had a chance to win a state championship, played at the Fargo Dome. How big of an experience was that? And now you're playing your college football at the Fargo Dome.
Yeah, it's super special. I think one moment that really sticks out to me is after the state championship game, we were walking back to Fargo North from the Fargo Dome, and it was like 2 blocks, and I was just like, wow, I get to play my collegiate football career 2 blocks from where I played high school. And I don't think there's probably any other FBS player in the country that has that same experience. So it's super special.
That hit on that when you think about that now that you're playing?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, yeah, I'm probably the one player in the country who gets to say that. So
that's remarkable. When you think about just the level of play here, you still get a chance to follow the Spartans every now and then, or no?
Yeah, maybe this year with the travel schedule, it'll be a little harder. Yeah. It'll be a little more tough, but I try to get over to at least 1 or 2 games when we're at home and just support the guys, go and see some familiar faces. So
how much do maybe the North Dakota guys especially take some pride in that gets overlooked? It's not Florida, it's not California, it's not Texas, but there's more FBS guys coming out of North Dakota than there ever has been. I look at the class of 27 right now, there's 8 guys that are going to be playing FBS football next year.
Yeah, that's wild. I take a ton of pride in North Dakota football, and I think per capita we're pretty solid. I mean, we got some big players, and produce a ton of O-line, NFL talent, and it's super cool to see a ton of guys putting on for the state of North Dakota. So
now that you're going to be playing in the Mountain West, have you let that? I know it's sunk in, but now it's almost here. When I say that, what goes through your mind?
Just opportunity to raise the program to a place it's never been, and just excitement. I mean, I'm super excited to get to play at a level I think I'd get to play at, and to play in a super cool conference that's on the West Coast with some super cool road trips like Hawaii and UNLV, and we get to go to California twice. I mean, it's pretty special.
So the fam started bugging for tickets?
Yeah.
I'm assuming Vegas and Hawaii, I'm assuming?
Yeah,
right?
my parents are taking a little vacation, just those two, to Hawaii.
Conveniently, those two,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It's great to see you. Good luck. Stay healthy this year. Appreciate the time, all right?
Thank you, Don.
Fargo North's Peder Haugo joining us here. That's going to wrap up our coverage of Bison Media Day on WDAY Plus, Inforum.com. Much more later tonight on our news at 6 and 10. Of course, next week on Hot Mic. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.